Good morning, grade 7. I hope you're doing well. So I am Ma'am Micaela Andrea Ardesus, and today we're going to discuss Lesson 7, Unity in Diversity, Levels of Biological and Ecological Organization. At the end of our lesson, you are expected to use a label diagram to describe the connections between the levels of biological organization to one another from cells to the biosphere. And you have to describe the trophic levels of an organism as levels of energy in a food pyramid. Here are the vocabulary words that you will encounter throughout our discussion. Before we proceed to our main discussion, here are the lesson purpose or the essential questions that you have to answer at the end of our discussion. So try to answer, how are the components of an ecosystem interconnected? How do organisms interact with each other? And why is energy flow the most important mechanism in the ecosystem? For the first subtopic, we're going to discuss about the unity in diversity, specifically the levels of biological and ecological organization. Let us define first what is biological organization. So this extends from the microscopic or the very small scale of the molecules and cells that make up an organism to the global scale of the entire living planet. So based on our previous discussion, when we say microscopic, it refers to very tiny or very small. So here is the diagram showing the levels of biological organization. So it starts from the atom, molecule, cell organelles, the cell, tissue, organ, the organ system, the organism, population, biosynosis, ecosystem, the biomes, and the whole biosphere. Try to answer these guide questions in your mind. First, what can you observe from the diagram? Or anong napansin nyo doon sa picture na nasa diagram? Second, how are they related to each other? Anong kaugnayan nila sa isa't isa? Third, what do you think will happen if one component of biological organization is altered due to some factors? Ano kaya mangyayari kung isa doon sa mga biological organization na nasa diagram ay biglang nawala? And last, what do you think are the factors that may have negative effects on the interrelationship of the biological organization? Or anong mga dahilan ang may negatibong epekto sa kanilang kaugnayan sa isa't isa? So let us discuss in a nutshell. When we say ecology, it is the study of interrelationships among organisms and their interaction with the environment. Or ito yung kaugnayan ng iba't ibang may buhay kasama na yung kanilang pakikisalamuha sa kapaligiran. And when we say organisms, these are affected by both biotic and abiotic factors. When we say biotic, this refers to organisms or living things. And when we say abiotic factors, this refers to non-living things in the environment. A habitat is a natural home or environment of an organism. Or ito yung natural na tirahan ng mga may buhay. When we say biological organization, it is organizing the various levels of biological complexity. So from the simplest to the most complex, using a reductionist approach, which means that complex systems are understood by breaking them down into their constituent parts. So this hierarchical organization helps scientists and biologists better understand and study the living organisms and their interactions. So when we say hierarchical organizations, sunod-sunod. For your activity 15, entitled Unveiling Biological Organization, Labeling Explorations, you have to study the diagram, label the exact biological organization by choosing it from the word bank provided. So you have to answer it in your science notebook. It's better if you can draw this diagram in your science notebook. Then yung mga words na nasa taas, diyan kayo pipili ng inyong mga sagot. Let us discuss now the biological organizations. So it starts with atom. It is the smallest unit of matter that retains the properties of an element. Tandaan, Ito yung pinakamaliit na parte na bumubuo sa lahat ng may buhay. Molecule is a group of two or more atoms banded together or pinagsamang atoms. When we say cell, it is the basic unit of life, which can function independently or as a part of a larger organism. So based on our previous lesson, there are organisms that consist of only one cell, which are called unicellular, and multicellular organism, which consists of two or more cells. So tissue, it is a group of similar cells working together to perform a specific functions. Example, tissues in our muscles, tissues in our heart, tissues in our brain, and throughout the different parts of the body. So in Tagalog, ito yung mga pinagsama-samang cells. Organ is a structure composed of different types of tissues working together for a common purpose. Or ito yung pinagsama-samang tissues. Example is yung tissue ng ating heart. Organ system is a group of organs working together to perform complex functions. Or ito yung pinagsama-samang organs. One example of organ system is the circulatory system. The main organ here is the heart, together with the blood vessels and arteries. Next is the organism, a living entity composed of one or more cells that can carry out all the processes of life. So one example is human. So human or an organism, pinagsama-samang organ systems. So in our human body, there are different organ systems. So some of these are the nervous system, circulatory system, the integumentary system, muscular system, skeletal system, and so on. So all the organ systems are working together in order for us to process our life. Next, we have the population, or a group of individuals of the same species living in the same area. Or ito yung pare-pareho ng klase ng organism. Example ay population of human, population of dogs, population of trees, na nakatira sa iisang lugar. When we say community, these are the populations of different species living and interacting in the same place. So, pag sinabi ng community, sama-sama na lahat dito ng iba't ibang species. Example, sa iisang lugar, which is Ternate, may mga nakatirang tao, animals, halaman, insects, and etc. Next is the ecosystem, a community of organisms and their physical environment, including the abiotic factors such as water, air, and others. So pag sinabi na nating ecosystem, hindi lang ito tumutukoy sa mga may buhay. So kasama na dito yung physical environment kung saan tayo nakatira. So including the abiotic factors or yung mga non-living things na ginagamit natin in order for us to live. Next is the biome. It is a distinct geographical region with specific climate, vegetation, and animal life. So there are different biomes. We have the savanna, tropical rainforest, marine, desert, temperate forest, freshwater, grassland, boreal forest, and tundra. And hindi lahat ito ay natatagpuan sa iisang lugar lang. For example, sa Philippines, ang meron lang tayo dito is the tropical rainforest, we have marine, we also have the freshwater. Next, we have the biosphere or the global ecosystem, encompassing all life on Earth and its environment. So ito ay tumutukoy na sa kabuuan ng ating mundo. So kasama na dito lahat ng may buhay at lahat ng nasa environment natin. For the second subtopic, so we're going to discuss about the levels of biological organization. So for your activity 16, entitled Macroscopic Marvels, Exploring Levels of Biological Organizations. So here, you have to examine the diagram and label the macroscopic levels of biological organization of an organism using the word bank. So again, you have choices for this activity. So, pipili lang ng isa kung ano ang tawag sa mga nasa picture sa diagram. For your output number 1, title Nature's Layers, Exploring Levels of Life in the Wild. So you have to observe and understand the different levels of biological organization present in a natural environment. So you will create a visual representation such as poster or diagram illustrating the different levels of biological organizations you observe outdoor. So you will do it on A4 bond paper. So be creative in doing your poster or diagram. So pipili lang kung anong gusto nyo. Gagawa ba kayo ng poster or diagram na nagpapakita ng iba't ibang level ng biological organization na naoobserbahan nyo sa labas ng bahay o sa ating kapaligiran dito sa Ternate. So ulit, yung mga naoobserbahan lang sa paligid natin. So wag nyong isasama yung mga organism na hindi nyo naman nakikita rito sa Ternate. And next, you have to discuss the importance of conservation and how understanding levels of biological organization can help in preserving ecosystems. So itong inyong discussion ay isulat na lang sa likod ng inyong poster or diagram na gagawin. So sa inyong discussion, ipapaliwanag kung ano ang pagkakaintindi nyo sa levels ng biological organization na nakakatulong para ma-preserve ang ating ecosystem. For output number 2, you have to choose an animal or plant species that interest you. So ano ba yung interesado kayo na animal or plant? So describe the different levels of biological organization within this organism, starting from the smallest unit, such as the cell or tissues, and progressing to larger structures like the organs and organism. So you have to explain how each levels contributes to the overall functioning and survival organism. Use specific examples from your chosen species to illustrate each level of organization. And do it on A4 bond paper. So you may draw, cut, or print pictures, and then write the description and explanation. So here is an example. Example, you chose dog. So that is an animal cell, tissue, and then the heart of the dog, and then the circulatory system of the dog. So aside from dog, you may choose different animals or plants. So again, you will do it in your A4 bond paper. If you have any inquiries, you may PM me. So thank you.